Pure rock. 1077 The Bone.
I'm Nikki Black, and in the studio with me, I have Max Cavalera from the Cavalera Conspiracy. How's it going?
Doing good.
So you guys are playing tonight at the Mezzanine with OTEP. Is it just two bands on the bill, or is there more than that?
I think there's a opening band. Didn't quite get a name yet.
So maybe it's like a local opener,
Right,
and then
local opener, and then
OTEP.
Earth Crisis, OTEP.
Oh, Earth Crisis and OTEP.
Yep.
Oh, cool. What time? Do you have set times, like approximate?
We going at 11:30.
Okay, so it's only 8 now. People have plenty of time to get out here, and tickets are available at the door. For people who don't know the Mezzanine, it's kind of in a little alley behind the San Francisco Mint. It's not a club that usually does metal shows, but it's definitely a club that usually does shows. I've seen a couple of bands there, like, I think I saw, I want to say Skinny Puppy, but it wasn't. It was somebody else very gothy.
Yeah, we never been there. It's first time, but the guys went inside the venue. They liked it. They thought it looked cool. Looks like a cool place.
So
this is the end of the tour. We got we played LA yesterday at the Key Club. It was awesome.
So you guys are a little tired today?
We're kind of getting back. It was a fun show. We had a lot of awesome people came by. The singer of Transplants ended up showing up and singing Roots with me.
Oh, cool.
Which was really cool. Yeah, Skinhead Rob.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was, it was a lot of fun. We saw a lot of friends of ours from other bands. Dino from Fear Factory was there. A bunch of other people. And it was a fun LA show. It was packed. And so we're here today, and then we get to Sacramento. And then we're done for this tour. It was a 5-week tour. We went all the way to Canada, Florida, Texas, all across this. This was the second leg of the Cavalera tour. We did one earlier in a couple months before.
Did you find that it's easier this time around doing a Cavalera Conspiracy? Because it's before it was really hard to coordinate everybody's projects, right?
A little bit. It was, getting used to, because I still have Soulfly. I still do that. And my brother has the Mix Hell. It's a DJ project with his wife. And they book a lot of shows. So in the beginning it was a little rough to organize, what should go what, and where and when we're gonna do it. But now it's getting better, so now we're preparing the time better, getting to know more in advance how our schedule is gonna be. For example, like next year, I'll probably take a break from Cavalera and go back to Soulfly because I have a new record coming out. Mm-hmm. And then I'll probably just touch Cavalera again in the end of the year, probably just write some new stuff.
So you guys are going to keep going, without much of a break.
Yeah, there's a little break now in after this tour is done, between November and December. I have one show with Soulfly in Phoenix on the 30th, December 30th, right before New Year's. It's actually the Dana show that we have every year, but this year it ended up being so late because we couldn't get a place that was available. The place that we wanted is called the Marquee Theater. Mm-hmm. They weren't available in August, which is normally when we do the show. So we had to wait until they were had the opening, and they had one in December 30th. So we're going to do that in December.
Just before we went off the air earlier, you were talking about Dana's show, which you guys normally do in Phoenix in August, but this year you're going to be doing it in Phoenix December 30th. Can you just tell people a little bit about the history behind that in case they may have forgotten or didn't know? Yeah,
the Dana show this year is 15 years. Dana is my stepson, and he was murdered in 1996. It was really bizarre event, and it's drug related in Phoenix with a Mexican gang, and he was pretty much giving these two kids, they're at that time, kind of friends with him. He was giving them a ride home because their car didn't start, and on the way to drive them home, he was being followed by a gang because he didn't know about those kids own money to the gang because they bought drugs from the gang and didn't pay it, and the gang was after those kids. And Dana tried to save those two kids' lives and was running from them in a car and being chased, and they have a gun behind them shooting at them, and so he ended up crashing on a tree and died right away. And the two kids that were in the car, this next day, they both claim the story that we gave is that they met with their lawyers, and the lawyers told them to say that they both have amnesia, so they don't remember anything that happened that night. So denies the whole drug story. So it's really sucks, because we cannot find who did it. Nobody's talking because it's gang related, and there's a code of silence made by the gang. But we do the concert every year, hoping that somebody will come forward with some information, and that's one of the reasons why we have the concert. And the second reason is for the memory of Dana, because he was a great kid and was a metal fan. He's the person that got me to hear Deftones for the first time. I had no idea who the Deftones were. He showed up in my house with a Deftones cassette of a demo, and that's the first time I heard them, and blew me away. I liked it, and ended up doing so much stuff with them. I ended up singing on the record later, and the name Soulfly comes from the song I did with the Deftones, Head Up, which is from their second record, Around the Fur. And Chino came and sang in two of my records, Soulfly 1 and Primitive, and we did a bunch of collaborations around the world. Every time we see each other in Europe and festivals, we always sing in each other's set. So it's cool, So he was a great person like that with music. And he was a fan of music. And for his funeral, a lot of people came, including Jason Newsted, which was a friend of the family. And the night before the funeral, we made a cassette compilation with Dana's favorite songs. We put everything on, from Flotsam Jetsam to Sepultura to Fudge Tunnel and Clutch and all the stuff that he listened to. And what we did was, when the coffin went down, we had a cassette player playing the tape with his favorite music, which was really cool, So and then the cassette player would play until it ran out of battery, So it was kind of cool to have that kind of, last memory of him.
And so that was 15 years ago now, and you were just saying it's also 15 years since the inception of Soulfly.
Yeah.
And you just finished recording a Soulfly album for next year?
I did. I recorded last month in Phoenix, where I live. I work with Zeus. He's a producer that did a lot of bands like Shadows Fall and Hate Breed and Oceano and Whitechapel, and did a lot of cool records. And he was a really cool guy to work with. I produced the album with him together, and we came up with a really good record. I think it's really strong. It's a reinvention of Soulfly. We have 2 new members in the band. We have a new drummer called Dave, which is from Chicago, but he was playing with a black metal band called Borknagar from Norway. So he's an extreme metal drummer. So it's very fast and double bass. Kid's insane. And we have a new bass player, Tony Campos, which is from Assassino and used to be in Static X. And so we kind of reinvented the band, and so it's a really kick-ass record. I'm really excited. Really can't wait for people to hear. I'm really proud of it. That's going to come out next year, and it's also 15 years of Soulfly. And I also have I'm also working on an autobiography book that's being done now with an English guy called Joe MacGyver, and he did the Lemmy book and Randy Rhoads and a Metallica biography also. And he's working on mine. We've been working through the whole year. We just did 1,000 interviews.
Oh my gosh.
I talked to the guy about my whole life. It was like therapy session. But it's finally done, and that's going to come out next year also.
What, do you find yourself having to call up friends and be like, okay, remember when this happened?
I did.
What happened again?
I did. I had to double check some things because I was drunk a lot back in the Sepultura days. Like, did I really do that? Yeah, you did. Did I really puke on that guy? There's a story that I puked on Eddie Vedder, and I had to call some people to make sure it was true, and it was true. It checked out.
Awesome.
That did happen, and
that's going to be great. The fact checker, the legal department, and the publishing company that's going to be like, we need to contact Eddie Vedder's management and make sure that Max Cavalera did vomit on him.
That's okay, right? So and the book is gonna have a lot of interesting interviews from people too, like Chino and Ozzy is gonna be on it, talk about it. The introduction of the book is gonna be done by Dave Grohl.
Oh wow!
Who's a huge fan. and he accepted to do it. He was really thrilled to do it.
Well, because you played on Dave's Probot project, which is awesome.
Which was really killer.
Yeah.
I had a lot of fun doing that. And Dave's always been a great guy. He used to come to see Sepultura play Seattle every time we play. Even after Nirvana got big, he would still come see us play little clubs.
When you did the Probot project with him, what was it like? I mean, did you go in and he had everything ready to go and just told you what to sing, or did you come in and kind of collaborate a little bit?
No, he sent me a CD with 5 songs. And there was one he wanted me to sing, had my name on it. The other ones have other people's name, like Lemmy and King Diamond and all these other guests. And he told me the idea. He said, my idea is I want to make a record. I wrote the music, and I want to have my favorite metal singers sing on each different song. And I thought that idea was brilliant. You know, like what a great... That's a dream for a metal fan. You know?
Not a lot of people can make that happen.
Right?
It's kind of awesome.
And it was an original and great idea. But I ended up doing it in a studio in Phoenix. He wasn't there when I did it. So at the time, I remember he joked that the nickname of the project was going to be Fat X because he was Fat Xing all these singers, all these CDs all around the world. I guess everybody did their part in a studio where they could do it, and then they send the stuff back to Dave. But it was great. You know, I really enjoyed doing it. It was a lot of fun.
Now, will the book release coincide with the Soulfly tour of next year as well as the Soulfly album?
Probably around the same time. We're trying to coordinate that.
That way you can sell the book on tour and do a book tour at the same time that you're doing the actual tour?
Maybe something like that. We haven't really talked about it yet. We're just finishing right now, you know, trying to finish the interviews on the book and trying to get all that stuff, like a lot of photos. We got to use a lot of cool photos from the past, you know, a lot of childhood photos and a lot of things like that. And so we're still in the process of finishing that up. And the album also, it's going to be mixed. There's 2 guests on the record. I did one song with Das from Devil Driver.
Cool.
There's a song called Redemption of Man by God. And Das sing on it, and it's really killer. It turned out really great. And there's one song called World Scum, and that's going to have the singer Trevor from Cattle Decapitation. He's going to do the guest vocal on that song. It's really heavy, really brutal stuff.
It sounds like it must be.
Yeah, really brutal stuff. So I'm really excited. And then for next year, in January, I go to Australia with Cavalera Conspiracy. We're doing the Big Day Out Festival, which is an awesome festival. I did it with Soulfly in '98.
Soundgarden's reuniting for that too.
Right. Yeah, they're on it. They're on doing it with us, and that should be a lot of fun. 3 weeks, and in February I go to Brazil with Soulfly for like 7 shows, 8 shows in my home country.
Is it just a madhouse when you go back to Brazil?
It's pretty crazy. Yeah, I've been there twice last year with Cavalera. We did a festival with Rage Against the Machine. There was 100,000 people.
Oh my
It
gosh.
was just nuts. So that was great. And then we came back, and Iron Maiden asked us to open for their São Paulo date. They had one show in São Paulo in a big soccer stadium.
Iron Maiden didn't raise a fool. They knew it would be huge if you guys opened for them, and they were already huge. I mean,
the show was going great, but they decided to get a few kicks in, so they invited us to be part of it. So it made it even huge, even bigger. And it was really cool, and they're really cool guys too. We met the guys in the band, and they're real nice guys. The crew was real nice too. So
how was the crowd? Just, I can only imagine it must have been just insane and mayhem.
It was great. It was a Maiden crowd because I never saw so many Iron Maiden shirts in my life. Everybody had an Iron Maiden shirt. You know, the whole place. But because me and Igor from Brazil, there was a lot of respect. They're really proud of us because we're opening that show. So we had a really good show too. So it was not like, they didn't care about the opening band, and they were only there for Iron Maiden. They were there for Maiden, but they also, liked our show. So everybody won in the end.
Yeah, because I'm under the impression that everyone in Brazil knows who Sepultura are, and that every time I come in contact with someone who's even remotely has any family in Brazil at all, you guys are nationwide, considered like an export.
Hey.
It's kind of a big deal.
Yeah, it's. I my share of things down there that contributed to that. In '95, I was arrested we're playing this festival called Hollywood Rock, and it was with Robert Plant and all these big names, Aerosmith. And on the end of the Sepultura show, somebody threw a Brazilian flag on the stage, and I grabbed the flag and opened to the crowd because I was proud of it, And some policeman totally tripped on the story and imagined that I spit on the flag, and came and got in my dressing room, opened the door with like 20 cops, and like, you're going down right now. You spit on the flag, and I'm like, I didn't do nothing with the flag, man, So they took me to jail, and it was a huge story, and became a huge debate in Brazil about what should be done with the flag, because there's no laws about the Brazilian flag at that time. There didn't exist any laws. How should you treat the flag? Can you do that with the flag, or can you not? Open a whole discussion. So it was really weird, because on the biggest newspaper was like my picture the next morning, about the flag. Everybody's talking about the flag. And I watch TV and be like all these huge television shows and all this discussing the flag.
And it's you and the flag.
I started this whole flag thing out of the blue. And the whole country's talking about the damn flag. Even my grandmother, she called me and she's like, "Why'd you do that with the flag? We raised you better than that." I'm like, "Grandma, I didn't do nothing with the flag.
Aww.
I really just picked the flag up and opened it." They created this whole thing. So all this contributed to Sepultura kind of fame and name in Brazil. So like every regular person there knows about us, knows the name.
And tonight you can see the legacy behind Sepultura in Cavalera Conspiracy at the Mezzanine in San Francisco. The Mezzanine is right behind the old SF Mint downtown, and OTEP is opening up, and Earth Crisis is going on right about now, and Max Cavalera is with us tonight on 107.7 The Bone. 107.7 The Bone, and Van Halen with the Ice Cream Man. I'm Nikki Black, and in the studio with me is the man behind the Cavalera Conspiracy, Max Cavalera. They're performing tonight at the Mezzanine in San Francisco, right behind the old Mint, downtown San Francisco. Tickets are available at the door. You've got OTEP going on in just about 25 minutes, and you've got Cavalera Conspiracy going on around 11 o'clock tonight. We're going to be looking for you to be not only putting out an autobiography, but a new Soulfly record next year. Be back in the Bay Area on tour, hopefully in spring.
Probably.
And I could not, I would probably be murdered if I let you walk out the door without asking you the potential for the Sepultura reunion.
Only God knows that. And maybe not even him.
For a long time, it seemed to be like the thing stopping it was that you and Igor were at odds. And now that you and Igor are obviously doing much better together with and having like a brotherly relationship and a band relationship again, it seems the schism is happening between Sepultura and Igor. Is that right?
Yeah, they don't get along really good. Igor does not like the other guys. That's why he left.
Right.
So at one point, because I wanted to do it, and I was trying to convince Igor to do it, and Igor kind of pushed me aside and said, "The reunion I wanted to make is with you, and we've done that already, so I'm good with that, Why can't you just, be happy with that too?" And I told him, well, like a lot of fans wanted to see the original Sepultura reunion. It would have been a cool reunion. But so it's not in my hands anymore. He doesn't want to do it, so I don't want to bug him, like he doesn't feel comfortable. I don't know what the other guys think, and I don't follow what they're doing. I had no idea what's up in that part of the group, or what's going on with them. I don't follow them, I don't know what they do. So I just keep busy with my stuff, and I got plenty, I got Cavalera and Soulfly and all this other stuff going on. So it's we just have to wait and see. Maybe it will happen. If it does, I'm sure it'll be with a the right way, the right for the right reasons. But it's something that nobody knows at this moment. It's a complete maybe. Just a big maybe.
And today, the closest thing you're going to get to it is the Cavalera Conspiracy tonight at the Mezzanine. Tickets are available at the door, so you can head out there now and still get plenty of time to see Cavalera Conspiracy tonight at 11. And OTEP probably in the next 20, 25 minutes.
Probably starting. And it's a great bill, you know, all the bands are having a really good time with the lineup, and all the bands are really cool. Earth Crisis is really one of my favorite bands, hardcore band. They're really awesome. OTEP is also really cool. And we just do that, go there and do our thing. We have a big set list. We play everything from the first Cavalera album, Inflicted, a lot of stuff from Blunt Force Trauma, which is the newest record, and a lot of Sepultura classics that people want to hear, like Arise and Dead Embryonic Cells and Troops of Doom,
Roots
and Refuse. So it's a great show, you know. So it's a lot of energy. We're looking forward. I think it's gonna be fun tonight. I'm looking forward to the show. San Francisco is always good. Every time I've been here, it's always fun. I love the crowd here, so it should be awesome.
Awesome. Thanks for coming down tonight, Max.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
100% pure rock. 1077 The Bone.